So when it comes to innovation, it's always difficult to foresee what may come actually, and it's always the vision of the innovator who can see everything. But how it is difficult to convince your top management either to invest on your project and align with your vision. So can you just give your experience on
Sure.
this?
I mean, this is what each and every leader should have a business acumen skill, right? Anything you're doing in an industry, in an organization, should have a business value into it.
Right.
Without that, all your ideas and everything will fail.
Right.
Right? So it is an investor who's investing a money onto the organization or onto the product, and there has to be a returns for that.
Right.
So each and every task, each and every employee working on the organization or on the products or on the projects, it has to map into the value, which ultimately deliverance will be there, right? So as a leader, you have to identify, that I have an idea, right? And how this idea is going to complement my existing products or the new products, and it has to be linked with a market. It has to, support the sustainability of a market you have or the product you have, and also try to make sure that, the facts. So if you say that...
Facts and ROI?
I mean, when I say facts about it, see, if you don't have a facts in your hand, when I say facts, it's regarding the business numbers. You can say ROI, you can say NPV, or you can say that, returns we are talking about, and margins we are talking about, and what is the competition information we have, what kind of a market size we are talking about. So to convince the senior management, you have an idea with you,
right.
You know that where you are going to deploy it and how it's going to enhance your business growth, and for the which you should have a financial numbers with you. How it's going to value.
Right.
A certain point is like, it cannot be quantified by the financial values. You cannot derive an NPV or IRR each and every time. Certain things could be strategic intent.
Okay.
If you don't get into this technology now, for example, artificial intelligence. Nowadays, AI has been very much open. Automatic diagnostics, many such things have come. So if you don't embrace those kind of a thing now, which cannot be quantified in terms of numbers now, but it gives an added value to the customer to be sustaining in the market, right? And to compete with our competitors, right? So a leader should be very clear about his or her vision. What is it I want to do? And with that clarity of vision you have, you try to collect the facts. You try to collect the information you have. And put it in a kind of an orderly fashion and keep it simple.
Okay.
I know I myself have presented to some of the things to a steering committee and they say so confused. What are you talking here? So the lesson to learn is try to keep it simple.
Simple. Okay.
Explain to the facts, to the story. So that you know clearly that management should be able to see that you have a clear focus. Where you want to go. And this is how it will be encashed, over a period of time.
Okay.
Certain strategies can be explained to them, saying that this is what we have to evolve like that.
Okay.
So we use that. There is no. I mean, I would say that there's no any kind of a specific tool I have been using it.
Okay.
But it's more of work with them. Work with the senior leaders, and take them along the way. It's not like that one fine day you come with a beautiful idea and present it saying that, give an approval. So you have to work towards that perfection.
Right. From the day one itself, you involve your top management. That's how you are saying, right?
Yes, it happens in isolation,
Right.
Because you being a kind of a business leader as well now. You can be an R&D head, but still you're a business leader.
Right.
So you should understand the value proposition of everything which you are doing it.
Right.
So you have to articulate that, and keep it simple, collect the facts, and show them. They should be able to see what you're saying.
Right.
That negotiations or the convincing skill, you should be having it to do that.
So one interesting thing I learned is the presentation has to be simple and convincing. So nowadays people go behind fancy presentation that is not required. It has to be simple and convincing. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you an example. When I was working for Caterpillar back in US, I used to work on this Six Sigma projects and everything. So where we developed some kind of a macro tool. How do we select the issues by categorization of issues, prioritization of issues and everything. So I came with a beautiful table, beautiful macros and everything. one gentleman, I forgot his name, I still have his card. He says, Prasad, you know what, everything is fantastic. But if you don't make it simple, keep it simple, guess what? You may have, later on, you may be the one operating this, and it'll be painful for you because it's complicated. So keep it simple to an extent of, it's a direct line, the clear visions and goals. What is it you'd like to do? How it is connecting to the business value? What is the returns we are talking here? If it is a strategic thing, why the strategy which you're thinking is a right strategy? Take an input. Discuss with your colleagues. Discuss with your senior management. Take experts' advice. So it's a kind of an evolving process. It's not like you alone presenting something and saying that it's required. Right? So many of the time we sit with our sales team, sales director, and we say, what, this is what we are planning to do. What do you think? Is there a market there for this? So it's a kind of an evolving, process.
That's interesting. Can you explain in short, how do you align innovation goals with the business goals?
So number one is any ideas, any innovation should have value attached to it. Not a fancy. And sometimes people get into that, it's nice to have. Like this, and I like it. Early phase of my career, I also was tempted by like that, you can have like this. That's the reason if you see some of the designs which you have kept it so complicated that, it has become fancy. So each and every ideas or innovation we are investing a time for that. It's not like that, innovation is just a word. Time is engaged, money has been spent. Right. So it has to have a value into it. First of all, you should have a very clear focus. What is it you'd like to achieve? Right? That is required. It is not for fancy. It is for the business objective. If it is not linking to the business objective, then it's pretty much like one point in time it will come to a halt. Now, being said that, there are certain innovative companies, the big giants. They also, it's industry you're talking about. You take a pharmaceutical industry, you take electronic industry. They were pretty much ahead of the game. They invested for a strategy. They want to have innovation for the long term. What's the futuristic vision of it? So if you know that, then it is very easy to move towards that. So certain companies does it intentionally because they want to invest the money. Apple, for example. Samsung, they want to invest the money so that they want to be a pioneer in that kind of a technology, right? Certain companies like, the company which I am working on, we know that technology is existing, but then there are no takers, but the market is or customers are not matured to that extent. So we wait for the appropriate time to come, It's not like that staying back, but it's more of, testing the markets, testing the markets and see that, affordable things can be given to them, So if any ideas, if it doesn't have a business value into it, it is no longer to be considered. Unless otherwise, it is a strategy. So the business or the market which you are in, pharmaceutical company, you need to have this research to be done constantly.
True.
So that you evolve with new drugs and everything. So there, you can't say that today it's not giving a value. No. This is for 5-10 years down the line. Right? So, but then 5-10 years down the line, there has to be a strategy for that. It's not like that 10 years ke baad main use karta hu. Right? So I should be able to, as an R&D leader, you should be able to see that where you should be very thorough in your market. Which market, which landscape you are in. Right? You should have a clear idea of that market and try to do if at all you want to do a market disruption, you should be able to do it with your long-term goals, But keep in mind, always do an affordable innovation. Affordable innovation. You can't have a gold-plated vehicles or instruments or something like that, which is not used by anyone. Reliance, for example.
Yes.
They do an affordable innovation, which is affordable for a customer to use it. At the same time, that complements to the growth. End of the day, if customer doesn't want it, your product is very expensive. Then what is the purpose of having innovation?
That's true.
But still, there are some premium manufacturers are there. And they want to be in the premium because that is their strategy. Like Rolls-Royce, for example, they will not come to the Indian roads and compete with Suzuki. Maruti, right? They have a pride in that. They are unique pioneer in those technology, and they have a selective customer, selective markets like that. That is the strategy of the organization. But then, if you do an affordable innovation, which is linking to the business values, then your innovation potential will become a success.
So aligning with the vision of the company is very important. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to share it with the people who need it the most, so that they can build their business and aspirations around their inventions. Keep innovating and keep earning tremendously. Thank you.